I thought it was impossible to get infected by COVID-19 for the second time. Until this morning when my tests came in. Here we go again! If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Konstantin and welcome to Letters to King. We're living in today's Russia Explained by the insider you can trust. And this is going to be a medical update. And you know, in the past few months I've been given many more medical updates than I ever wanted to. I still have some difficulties breathing and I cough a lot. In my last video, very emotional one, I was telling you how medical system in Moscow is so much different and so much better from the medical system in the entire Russia, in the provinces outside of Moscow. Well, the doctors came a few times and an ambulance came, I think 4 times, and one of the doctors took a test for the coronavirus, took, the swab up my nose and up my throat, and same thing to my son Michael. And when I asked them why, they said, well, that's just a procedure. That was 3 days ago. This morning, knock on the door, there's a doctor. I thought they was just checking again how we were feeling, but she dropped a bomb on us. She said, both your tests came back positive. You both have COVID-19 confirmed. Whew. Well, Michael is fine. Out of all symptoms he had was headache, lasted for half an hour. We gave him an ibuprofen syrup. He fell asleep, woke up, and he's been fine ever since. My wife is fine. She also had a headache one day and she coughed a few times one day. She didn't have fever. My younger daughter has been also fine. She felt sick and she also took like a 1 pill of ibuprofen and then snapped back right on. She's fine. My older daughter hasn't had one single symptom. That's me. Again, I got sick. I'll remind you that I was sick in early November back in Rostov-on-Don. It was not a disaster, I wasn't feeling too terrible, but it was COVID. All the symptoms, I couldn't draw my blood to confirm because simply there wasn't any possibility in Rostov. I told you how catastrophic failure of a local medical system happened there. But 100% it was COVID-19. My sister-in-law, who infected us, she was tested for COVID-19 and then the test came positive. So and then we were living together and then she gave it to us. So I thought I'd be safe for some time, and I was for about as a doctor came in. Boy, she was tall. I am 6'3", pretty tall guy, but she was 6'4". Well, I couldn't really record the doctor. The doctors usually freak out when they see a camera rolling. So anyway, she just came in. She checked on me. She gave me free drugs again. The Russian-made drug called Coronavir. In English it says Favipiravir. Favipiravir. Okay. Then she gave me more antibiotics, this time free. The previous antibiotics I had to go and buy at the pharmacy, but she just said, just in case, so you have it. And then she, did a checkup. She listened to my breath, and she recommended I would go to a local hospital and do a computer tomography on my lungs because she heard some noises. So she gave me prescription, called the ambulance herself, gave her number. Now the ambulance gonna come, bring me to the hospital, and they're gonna do a tomography. And I think they don't bring me back. I have to come back by myself. Well, that's free again. I again am so upset because I remember how difficult it was back in November for all of us to get this computer tomography. Nearly impossible. The light, the wait line was 2 weeks, and you couldn't buy your spot for money because it was a matter of life and death, and everyone needed the spot, and everyone was going to pay any amount of money just to get the computer tomography, because without tomography they wouldn't check you into the hospital. So I'm gonna do that. Basically it'll show whether I have viral pneumonia or I don't. She said that most likely they will not check me into the hospital because my condition is, well, it's fairly easy. But if it's pneumonia, they're gonna prescribe me different drugs, and they're gonna monitor me much more closely. Anyway, I think I'm gonna film a little bit in the hospital, and I come back and finish filming. I will tell you what the procedures for the coronavirus patients in Moscow are, and how they treat you. Not only they treat you, not only they give you free paid time off work, not only they give you free drugs, they dance around you, literally. I had 5 different people called me from Moscow Ministry of Department of Health, from Russian Department of Health, from our local hospital. So they sent a doctor, Rostov-on-Don, which is a Russian equivalent of FDA in America. That's organization who's in charge of this containment of coronavirus infection. They called me. Well, my telephone was turned off at night 26 times. I turned it on and I got the message, 26 missed calls. Here in Moscow, they really care. They want me to get better. In Rostov, I felt like I was absolutely alone. No medical help available, even for money, because there were so few nurses and doctors. I couldn't even get a nurse to administer like an IV or something like that. Just insane. Here, they are literally dancing around me. Well, folks, let's go get the tomography done. До свидания. Люди шугаются сразу. Здрасте. Спасибо. Куда мне ложиться или садиться?
В принципе. Ты назад полезешь или здесь?
Я туда.
Да, документы взял. Сюда. Ни разу не проходил.
Ой, да ладно.
Ну не помню, по
В
крайней мере.
интернете открываете любой все там бокс, не такого.
Золотые вы мои люди.
Смотрите.
Москва. Напротив. Здрасте, это к вам? Это на кровь, да?
Да, вещи вон туда на стульчик, а сами сюда присаживайтесь.
Можно я тут сфотографирую? My friends, I'm done with the test, computer tomography of my lungs, the physician analysis, and the blood work. By the way, if you find this video interesting so far, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further updates from Mother Russia, sick or healthy. So yesterday, an ambulance came by. First thing they did was AKG to make sure my heart was fine. The results came out nearly perfect. Then they took me to a local clinic to check my lungs, to do a computer tomography. The result was 10% damage, and that diagnosis was light viral pneumonia. The doctors gave me a bunch of new free pills, and then they sent me home. They said my condition is not serious enough to be checked into a hospital, but if the breathing gets worse, the condition gets worse, and I feel worse, everyone's advice is to call ambulance immediately, and they'll take me to a hospital. As the doctor said, the sooner you start treatment, the better and easier, you'll get out. So it's Corona again. I'm still shocked. Because it's the second time. The worst thing is, I'm not an exception. I've talked to the doctors. So far, there were 5 doctors came into our house. I talked to all of them, and they confirmed that their colleagues, doctors, are getting infected for the second time. It's like second wave among the doctors. And the 2 doctors that they were taking me in the ambulance to a computer tomography, they told me that 2 of their colleagues had coronavirus for the 3rd time. It's pretty bad. I don't really know what to do, because you see, I'm not really worried about my condition. I'm feeling fine, except for heavy breathing and coughing. More or less, it's fine. There have been times in my life when I was sick, much worse, with like regular flu and cold. Seriously, I felt so much worse. So the coronavirus is certainly not the worst thing that happened, but it's pretty bad. It's not an easy, it's not a piece of cake, okay? And the fact that I got infected for the second time in 5 months really is bothering me. Whew. Anyway, overall, I'm feeling fine. Well, let me show you the medicine that I was given. This is perhaps the most important drug for the coronavirus infected people. It's very powerful blood thinner. It's called Xarelto, and I believe it's manufactured by Bayer, and I think it's an Italian drug. Back in November, I was looking for this stuff everywhere, and I couldn't find it. This little pack of 10 right now in Moscow is available and costs, and the pharmacy costs about $25, something like this. In Rostov, people were ready to pay $300 to $400 for the 10 pills, but they were not available. So I started taking this blood thinner, instead of doing shots into my stomach. They said, works pretty much same. Then they gave me the drug called Bifacin. It's made in America and imported to Russia. It's a probiotic. It just protects my intestines, when I'm taking antibiotics. They gave it to me for free, but its cost, if I were to buy it at the pharmacy, it would cost me $6 or $7. Wonder how much it costs in the United States. Anyone knows? Bifacin. And this stuff I had to buy myself. They didn't give it to me. Omes. It cost me 90 cents. No big deal. Overall, I'm doing okay. Michael is doing absolutely fine. He's very cheerful, happy, playful. For him, it's business as usual. He's been enjoying all this shenanigans. Миш, скажешь что-нибудь? Как ты себя чувствуешь? Миш, как себя чувствуешь?
Не скажу.
Okay. He's not in the mood of talking. But thanks for all who have been praying for us. He's fine. My wife's fine and the daughters are too. I'm the only one sick. Have hard time breathing, but it's only 10% of lung damage. I can't even imagine what people who have like 60, 70% damage feel like, how they breathe. I mean, it's scary. My brother-in-law, when I was checking him at the hospital, he was at 73 or 74% damage. He couldn't even walk. I mean, I wish that all people infected with the coronavirus get better soon. In the community section of YouTube, I posted a video of myself with an emergency ambulance doctor who came over. That was a young guy. He was pretty funny. I started joking with him. At first, all the doctors here are very serious because the issues they're dealing with, they're very serious, and they do not, they see a lot of sufferings of people, regular people. But I don't like when people are serious, so I started making small jokes, and then he kind of opened up, and we started joking back and forth, and then I asked him if I could do a selfie, and said, sure. And even then we were starting making faces, and I looked pretty happy in this picture. And then when that picture was posted in the community section, I got quite a bit of response. People started calling me, the friends who know my number, they started calling me and inquiring how I was feeling. And then people on YouTube, they were also writing me in the comments. And some of them were asking, what are you so happy about? No, you know what? What am I supposed to be? Crying or complaining? I don't like that. I don't think that the coronavirus is the end of the world. Actually, quite on the contrary. I think it's a pretty positive thing that has happened in my life. And I think it's a blessing in disguise. Why? I'm going to tell you in the next video. Please keep on tuning in and you will be very surprised. And I hope to cheer you up. I'll see you next time.